not gonna clean it? I said no. He said clock out, and guess what? I clocked out because no, I wasn't doing that. Hey bosses, welcome back to my channel. My name is Candice Renee. In today's video, I've actually been requested to do a video about my entrepreneur journey, how I got to where I am today, how do I do the things that I do, what do I do. So today we're gonna go down memory lane and just talk about my entrepreneur journey and really just give you guys my story, and if my story can motivate or help someone, that's really like the goal for today. So if you guys want to know more about my entrepreneur journey and my story, then just keep on watching this video. When I had my first job, so I graduated high school in 2014 at the age of 17. I had my first job ever, which was working at Crystal's. Up north, I think they call it like White Castle, but I worked at Crystal's in a little bit after I graduated. So I think that was 2014 too. So I worked there, and I will never forget that I quit because the manager had told me, she was like, what do you want to do when you get older? And I said, I want to be a lawyer or something in the like criminal justice field. And she was like, oh, you're never going to be able to do that if you don't know how to work the drive-thru. Like, sis, what does working the drive-thru have to do with, you know, with my career choice in life? So that was really like, I had a lot of jobs, like a lot of 9-to-5 jobs growing up. Like, ask anybody, like I used to have a new job every single month. Like I worked at Target, I worked at Quick Trip, a gas station, I worked at damn near all the malls in Atlanta. So I worked at did I work at Lennox? No, Lennox is the only place I didn't work at, but I worked at Perimeter, I worked at Sugarloaf Mills, I worked at Mall of Georgia, worked at every mall pretty much. So I worked there, I worked warehouse jobs, I worked at FedEx, and I worked at UPS. And then my last job that I worked at before I quit and became a full-time entrepreneur was working at Hyundai. So we're actually gonna get into all of that. So I'm gonna just, you know, just let you guys know that part, because I had a lot of 9-to-5 jobs. Like, your girl has spent the block a couple of times, but I will always work a job and quit because they will always have me effed up. Like, I remember when I was working at Quick Trip, was the gas station, I had got fired from there because there was poop in the toilet, and there was like poop on the side of the toilet. Like, it's like somebody completely sat on the toilet and missed the toilet at first. Like, it was gross. And they were like, Candice, you're on bathroom duty. So I walk in the bathroom and I see that, and I said, no. So I went to my manager, I said, I'm not cleaning this. And he's like, oh, so you're not gonna clean it? I said, no. He said, clock out. And guess what? I clocked out because no, I wasn't doing that. Ever business. So before I even started my first official business, you guys know I'm a graphic designer, so I've had graphic design experience since I was in high school. I got introduced to graphic design my senior year of high school because I've always been tech savvy, and so I did little side hustles before I started my first business. Like, I used to do like $10 websites, $5 flyers. Like, I just used to do little stuff here and there for people because they knew that I knew graphics. So they were like, oh, let me just ask Candice to, you know, make this for like a quick little $5-10. So I just did that for a minute. Ever business. So I started my first ever business, which is called Love Renee Collection, in 2017, like June of 2017. I started the business simply because I was broke. I mean, I'm gonna just be real with y'all. Like, I know a lot of people like have this story like, oh my God, I was so inspired by it. Like, no, your girl was broke, okay? I was working at Lowe's. If you guys don't know what Lowe's is, like a hardware store. I was working at Lowe's, and I had a $360 car note, and I was only making like $600 every 2 weeks. So after taxes, I was only making $1,200 a month. I had a $300 some dollar car note, like $360 some dollar car note, and then I had like a little credit card that had like a little $250, $300 on it. So between them two, my check was pretty much gone. And of course, I'm a girl, so you know, I like to get my hair done, my nails done, I like to get sew-ins and all that stuff like that. So my check would pretty much be gone as fast as I got it. So when that happened, I was like, I need either a side hustle or something. I didn't want to get a second job because I was in school around the time, so it's like trying to balance 2 jobs and school, it just wasn't gonna work. So I was like, I need to find like some type of side hustle that I can do to make me just some extra money on the side. So that's when I was like looking, like this is when like I started seeing girls selling hair. Jada Chivas, y'all know Jada was selling hair around this time, and she was getting real popping. Like this is when Jada like hair company was like getting real popping, or it could have been popping before this, but this is when I saw it and it was popping for her. And then I remember Ming Lee was starting to get popping around the time, so I'm like, okay, I see all these girls getting popping selling hair, so I can do it too. So me and a person that I'm not cool with anymore, we were supposed to get into the business together, but the other person, they were not taking it seriously. So I just went ahead and pursued it on my own. I pursued it on my own. I created my own logo. I created my own website. I created my own website on the computer at my job. So when it was a few days out of the week at Lowe's, I worked at the hardware desk, and the hardware desk was never busy. I used to work early in the morning at the hardware desk, and if you guys don't know really nothing about Lowe's, contractors would come in like early, like 6 a.m. to get the stuff that they need to do their job for the day. So really between like 6 a.m. and like maybe like 7:30 a.m. it was really busy because the contractors were coming in, getting their wood and getting the stuff that they need for the day. And then after really like 7:30 a.m. from like 7:30 to like 10, because I worked from like 6 a.m. to like 10 a.m. at the hardware desk. So like after like 7:30 to like 10, it wasn't really nobody like coming in no more. So that time it was really dead. So I was just on the computer working on my website and all this other stuff like that. And I made my logo on Photoshop on Big Cartel. So Big Cartel, I think, is still around too. So I made my first website on Big Cartel. So that was all of that. So to start selling hair, so I made the website, but I didn't officially launch until like July of 2017. So July of 2017 I actually launched. I found my vendor on Instagram, so I still use my hair vendor to this day. So if you guys go on my Instagram now and you see me with any wigs or anything on, that's from my hair vendor from when I sold hair. I've been rocking with the same hair vendor for like almost 3 to 4 years now, so I really love them. They still be testing out the hair. I remember right before I started selling the hair, I was testing out the hair. I curled it, I burned it, all this other stuff. I seen somebody say, well, if the hair burns like this, then it's if the hair burns like this, then it's real, it's good hair. So I was burning the hair. I was doing all types of shit, like a lot. So now we get to the part where I finally launched. So when I first launched my hair business, I did not get sales right away. Like I did not get sales right away. I remember I was running ads, I was running promotions, I was doing a lot of stuff, and I didn't get sales like right away when I first started. It actually took me a month to get my first sale in my business. From my hair business, it took me a month to get my first sale. So I got my first sale in actually August of 2017 from this girl that I didn't even know. She lived in Texas. Like that's when I got my first sale. Like my first sale was not from somebody that I knew. That's why when people always talk about support this, support that, I never cared about who supported me. If you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, you don't. A lot of people that I went to high school with was really hating on me. Like people were like, oh, she's trying to be like Jada, she's trying to be like this. Like why can't I just be myself? Like why can't I just be myself? Like people was hating, but I never really paid attention to the hate, because at the end of the day, the people that you know are not the people that's gonna get you rich. They're not your target audience. They're just not, you know. I was like, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, there's people that I've never met that support my business, that rock with my business. So from that point on, I started selling hair, and I was doing so well. Like my hair business did so well. Like I made about 5 figures in the hair industry. I could have made 6, but I didn't stay in the game long enough. But my business was really doing so well. My business is so well, and every time I made money, I would put it back into the business. Now I did that for a little minute until I started really seeing big money. Like when I was starting to see big money, like I remember one time I saw like $7,000 in 1 week, and I blew all of it. I didn't put none of it back into my business. Like I was doing well at first, and then I started to get, you know, like I started seeing it, and I was like, ooh, I ain't never touched this amount of money before. So I was a little excited. I was was like, oh, girl, I ain't never touched this before. We never had that money before. Like, I was so excited. Like, but you gotta remember that even though you are making big money, it's not really your money. Like, this is not really your money. That money needs to go back into your business. So fast forward, I was selling hair for about 3 years, and then come March of 2020 is when the panini happened, COVID happened, and I just decided that I really didn't want to sell hair anymore. I started to lose my passion for it, but even before COVID came, I still was kind of feeling like that. Like, I was just tired of selling hair. I wasn't switching my hair up that much. I had got a job, so I got a full-time job. And the reason why I got a job was not because I got a job, which was my last job, Hyundai. Even though my hair business was making so much money, I still went and got a job. And the reason why I still went and got a job was because, like, number one, I was bored at home, so I wanted to just get out the house. So I was like, ooh, let me just get a job. Like, at the time, I wasn't thinking, like, let me start another business, let me do this. I was like, let me just get a job so I can get out the house. I'm bored. Like, that's why I got another job. And then secondly, it was just like, I don't know, it just, like, with me working, it just switching up, making content for hair, I don't know, it just really started to become a lot. I think I did a video on why I closed my hair business down, so I probably watched that video to go more in depth. But I closed that business down. Yeah, I closed that business down in March of 2020. It was so sad. But I was really sad. I even shed a tear because Love Renee Collection was really my baby. It taught me everything that I needed to know. It got my foot in the door with entrepreneurship, but it's just, I just didn't have the passion or the energy to continue selling hair, because selling hair is a lot. Selling wigs is a lot. It is a lot. And I just didn't have the passion to continue anymore. So that is why Love Renee Collection went left. I did have a sale, so I had a last sale. I had a quarantine sale that did so well, a last minute sale, and then it was just gone. And it's people who come to me to this day and still ask me if I sell hair, which is crazy. Like, I had the most loyalist customers. I had people who shopped with me for 3 years straight. I had over 100 good reviews on my hair. Of course, I had a few bad reviews, like, who doesn't, but I had over 100 good reviews on my hair. Like, I did amazing for myself selling hair, but I just didn't want to sell hair anymore. So I actually kind of took a break from entrepreneurship for a second, just to kind of figure out what it is that I wanted to do. And then I went through a really bad breakup. So I went through a really bad breakup, and during this breakup period, I was writing down things that I really wanted to do, and one of them was start a YouTube channel. So I did start a YouTube channel, and I started a YouTube channel at first to really promote my hair company, because I did start my YouTube channel around the time I started selling hair. But then I stopped selling hair, so I was like, well, I can still continue on YouTube. So that's why I'm here now today. But yeah, so when I went through this bad breakup, one of the things I did want to do is start a YouTube channel, which is why I'm on YouTube. And then another thing that I wanted to do was get back into graphics. So you guys know I did do graphics back in 2014. And in 2014, I was doing graphics, and I wanted to be a graphic designer back when I graduated high school. I had applied for the Art Institute of Atlanta. I got my graphic design teacher to actually write me a letter of recommendation, and he did, and I got accepted into the Art Institute of Atlanta back in 2014. So I was really gonna take my graphic design career up, like I was gonna get certified for it. But my mom was telling me that, like, don't do it, graphic designers don't make no money, you about to spend all this money on this school and you're not about to have no career, and da-da-da. Mind you, I'm 18 at the time, so I'm like, well, she's probably right. So I just kind of was just done with that. And then I attempted to go to college. So I did do a story about my college life, and how I dropped out of 2 colleges and got kicked out the first one. School had just never really been for me. I got kicked out of my first college because I met this dude when I was in college, and me and him used to just drink and smoke together, and we were not serious, and I was just high and drunk in college. You know how college life goes. So that made me not do well in my education. Then when I went back to school the second time, I didn't really drop out. I went for a week and stopped going because I'm like, I don't want to do this. Then I tried to go back to school a third time, and I was there for like 2 months, and then I just stopped going. So I don't know if that really considered dropping out, but I just stopped going to that too. So school had just never really been for me, so that's why. But fast forward back to 2020, I decided that I wanted to get back into graphic design. Graphic design was my passion. I'm a creative, that's what I do. And I made Renee Digitals. So I opened Renee Digitals in 2020, and I was doing graphic design, and I'm still doing graphic design to this day, but now I'm getting more into brand design, and I'm getting more into teaching branding, because at first I just wanted to do graphics and that's it, but now I'm getting more into teaching branding and teaching social media strategies and things like that. So currently right now I own Renee Branding Co. So Renee Digitals is now Renee Branding Co. And I changed the name because Renee Digitals was just feeling a little childish to me. So my business name is now Renee Branding Co. And right now, currently, I am a brand designer and a brand coach. I mainly focus on teaching brand identity, social media strategies, social media design, and brand strategies. Did I say strategies twice? I said strategies a few times, but basically that's what mainly I focus on, is really branding and social media strategies, social media development, and brand design, so graphic design. But I don't just make you a graphic and go. I actually help you develop your whole brand identity, so your colors, your logos, your typography, and things like that. So I really go deep into branding because I feel like it's super important, because I feel like if I had a brand coach or brand designer back in the day when I was starting my hair business, I would have knew so much more. So I definitely learned so much from my last business. I made so many mistakes in my last business that now I can come to someone and tell them about more. But yeah, so that's pretty much my entrepreneur journey right then and there. What's in the future for me? I definitely want to get more into teaching other designers as well. Something that I am thinking about doing, teaching more designers, maybe having like a program or something, because I get so many people who ask me if I teach Illustrator or if I do have a Photoshop class right now, but I definitely want to get into Illustrator as well, teaching that, and really just taking my business to the next level. My goal is to really have like a branding agency with like other people who can help you develop your brand and help you develop your social media and help you develop in different areas. So that's something that I want to help teach as well. And yeah, that's pretty much my entrepreneur journey. And with YouTube, I'm definitely gonna be on YouTube more. Well, I think I'm on YouTube enough, but definitely be on YouTube more. My goal for my YouTube channel is just to keep growing and to help you guys and inspire you guys and teach you guys, and you guys can learn from me, and hope that my videos really touch somebody somewhere and just really like feel like a heart to heart with you guys, you know. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one.